Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. Today I've got another what's for dinner video to share with you, and I'm also sharing a special dessert treat that we made for St. Patrick's Day. So without further ado, let's get into the recipes. These are some of my favorite videos to share because I know that we are all looking for new dinner ideas every now and then. So let's get into the recipes. So this first recipe that we are going to make is a Green Chef meal. They are sponsoring today's video, so thank you to them. This is a delicious Mediterranean chicken dish from one of their keto boxes. Green Chef has been the longest supporter of my YouTube channel, and I love working with them because their meal kits are so convenient and the flavors are awesome. Green Chef is a USDA certified organic company, and they have dishes for a variety of lifestyles, including vegan, vegetarian, paleo, and keto. I'm always so impressed by the simple ingredients that they include in their boxes, but the combination is really what makes these dishes delicious. So the dish that I am making today includes some roasted Brussels sprouts, and then we're going to saute some chicken breast and combine everything. And the flavors in these roasted Brussels sprouts were amazing. Not everyone in my house is a huge fan of Brussels sprouts, but I am definitely going to be making them like this again because everyone loved them. The thing I think that I love most about getting Green Chef boxes is that it is super convenient and the recipes are really quick and easy. They have step-by-step instructions, and the recipe cards themselves are super durable, so you can save them and recreate them later if you would like to. They have a ton of variety to choose from regardless of what your dietary preferences are, and honestly, I have tried the majority of their meal plans regardless of how I'm eating at that particular time, and they have all been delicious. So all I'm doing with these Brussels sprouts is just chopping them in half, and then I'm cutting off the tough end of the stem of the Brussels sprout. I did order some of the larger Brussels sprouts. The thing with these is that you want to make sure that you have them in as similar of sizes as possible so that they will all cook at the same time. After they are on the baking tray, I'm going to drizzle them with some extra virgin olive oil and season them with salt and pepper. After these are done, we're actually going to toss them with pesto, which is something that I've never thought of doing before and made them totally delicious. This is also non-stick foil. I wanted to mention that you can get that in the store, and I use it quite frequently to roast veggies in the oven. If you guys are wanting to try out Green Chef, if you are a busy working person like me, or even if you're just busy doing things at home, it is a huge time saver to have all of this delivered right to your door, and you can make sure that you're getting healthy meals for your family. You can check out the link in my description box below. It's greenchef.us/90Jen Chapin, and you want to use code 90Jen Chapin to get $90 off across your first 4 boxes. And a bonus, you'll also get free shipping on your first box. So definitely take advantage of that. Fun fact, I also use my own promo codes, and yes, I have ordered Green Chef using my own promo code before. So I'm going to pop these Brussels sprouts in the oven at 400 degrees, and obviously I'm having trouble typing the time there, for about 15 minutes. And for the chicken breast, I just pulled those out of the package and I seasoned them generously on either side with salt and pepper. I sauteed them in some olive oil, and next I'm going to add some chopped artichokes and some roasted red peppers that came in the kit, along with just a little bit of water to deglaze the pan. This pesto was included with the kit, and I'm just squeezing that over the chicken, and then I'm going to sprinkle the top with a little bit of feta cheese. I tried to keep the feta off of the top of the chicken because my kids aren't wild about that, so I just wanted it mixed in with the sauce. You can see how delicious and crispy these roasted Brussels sprouts are, so I added some pesto to that and stirred them around, and here was the finished dish. So we had the roasted Mediterranean chicken with the pesto on top, and then I sprinkled some of the almonds on the Brussels sprouts. This was so good. Definitely low carb, totally healthy, and totally delicious. I definitely encourage you guys to give Green Chef a try. Okay, so one of you commented on my videos and said, why do you never bake potatoes in the air fryer? And I was like, I don't know. I just never even think of it. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm making a rather indulgent meal of steak and baked potatoes, but this was on a weekend and it just sounded really good. So I have my air fryer here basket, and I have some of that foil in the bottom of it, and I have some regular russet potatoes here. I drizzled those with olive oil, seasoned them with a little bit of kosher salt, and I am just pricking those with a fork, and then I'm going to slide them in the air fryer, and I'll link the recipe that I use down below. Obviously, this isn't really a recipe, it's kind of just a method, but I cook these in the air fryer at 390 degrees for about 40 40 minutes. And these potatoes were smaller, so they did cook through. I would say you definitely want to cook them larger if they're larger potatoes. So on the side, I had a watermelon that needed to be cut up. I had purchased this at the store before, so I'm just going to do that really quick. I like to cut my watermelons in half, and then I cut them into quarters, and then I slice them into wedges. Make sure that you have a really sharp knife, a heavy duty one. A chef's knife is best when you're cutting watermelon, because if you don't, you can slip and cut yourself and really get hurt. Ask me how I know. I have even gone to the emergency room once during New Year's for a knife cut before, unfortunately. So for the steaks, I'm going to season these with some all-purpose steak seasoning. Jenny sent me this, so thank you to her. This is Uncle Chris's gourmet steak seasoning, and it's kind of just a blend of salt and pepper. There's some other seasonings and herbs in there, and we really like it. One thing I would say, these are ribeye steaks. Take them out about 30 minutes before you want to cook them to let them come to room temperature. That will help them cook more evenly, and then go ahead and season them a little bit before you plan to cook them as well. On the side, I also wanted to cook some broccoli. One of my quick and easy ways to cook broccoli is just in the microwave. It's super simple. I just put it into a glass dish. I cut it up into similar size pieces. I add some water to the bottom of the bowl, some salt, and cover it. And usually I will cook a bowl of broccoli this size for around 6 to 7 minutes. And you can adjust that based on how, crispy or how mushy you like your broccoli. We tend to like it on the softer side, and then I'll just melt some butter in there afterwards. So I have a heavy duty skillet here on my stove, and I'm going to put my steaks in there. There was just a little bit of avocado oil that I put in the bottom just to make sure that they didn't stick. For these size steaks, I probably sauteed them for about 4 minutes on each side, and then I'm just going to put them in a warm oven so they can finish cooking through. I also made some shrimp in the air fryer, and this is what we had for dinner: steak, shrimp, cocktail sauce, some baked potatoes, and broccoli. Really, really delicious, and it hit the spot. Who doesn't love steak and shrimp? Okay, so here I'm just showing you my plate. I just had steak and a little bit of salad with blue cheese dressing. You guys would have seen this in a low carb meal prep video that I posted last week, so if you didn't catch that, I will link it down below so you can catch up. There were some really great low carb recipes in that video. Okay, so next up is this Shamrock Shake that Connor helped me make. So I've been telling you guys about this for a while, and I'll link the recipe that we used down below. This is something that I wanted to make for St. Patrick's Day and just didn't get it done. So we did this after St. Patrick's Day, but it was fine. So we're using some, I believe this is Fairlife lower sugar vanilla ice cream. You can use any vanilla ice cream that you want. So we're just putting that into the blender, and next we're going to put some milk in and try not to spill it all over. I would definitely double this recipe next time because this only made enough for 2 servings. I can't remember exactly what the recipe said, but definitely use 2 pints of ice cream if you're serving more than 2 people. So Connor is going to drop some green food coloring in there. You can use any food coloring that you want. Obviously this is a mint Shamrock Shake, so we're using green food coloring, but Kira had never had one of these before, and she really wanted to try one. If you guys are not familiar, McDonald's has these like every St. Patrick's Day. Next, we are adding in some peppermint extract. I followed the directions on the recipe and I still thought it was way too strong and way too minty, so I would definitely decrease that amount next time. So we have our milk, ice cream, mint extract, and food coloring in there, and we're just going to put the lid on, and Connor is going to whiz the blender up until everything is combined. He had a lot of fun doing this. You guys always comment that you love seeing him in the kitchen with me. He does love to help cook. So we poured those into some glasses. Probably next time I would use a little bit less milk. They were a little bit more liquidy than I would have liked. We sprinkled some sprinkles on top and put some sugar-free whipped cream, and then of course we had to top it with a cherry. But overall the kids really liked these, and they obviously thought it was really cool that they were green. So I would definitely make them again with those modifications. Okay, so next up is a recipe for some pork and mango lettuce wraps, and you guys may have seen this in a video that I posted last week, but I do like to put my dinner recipes all together in these what's for dinner videos because I know that some people only watch those. So this was a really good recipe and it's worth mentioning again. This was out of my America's Test Kitchen meal prep cookbook, which I really like. I can link that cookbook down below. You guys know I am a cookbook junkie and so I collect all of America's Test Kitchen cookbooks. I just love them. I feel like the recipes are so reliable. And in this skillet, I have some ground pork. This is a great way to use ground pork if you have some in your freezer. I'm going to season that with some salt and some pepper and some cumin and some red pepper flake. And you just want to saute that until it is all cooked through and a little bit crispy on the outside. If it needs drained, go ahead and drain it. I did not have to drain this particular batch. Okay, so once the pork is done cooking, you can go ahead and add in some garlic and some sriracha. I am using pre-minced garlic, but you can mince your own if you'd like to. In a pinch, you could definitely use granulated garlic as well, and just add enough sriracha to your taste. This was perfectly spicy for me. I followed the directions on the recipe, which I'll have in the description box below as well. Just stir that around until everything is combined. The recipe did not call for this, but I did decide to add some lime juice just because I tasted it and I thought that it needed a little bit of a brighter flavor. So I'm just squeezing the juice of one lime in with the pork as well. So now it's time to make the sauce that's going to go on top of these lettuce wraps. Definitely do not skip this. It totally makes the dish. In a small bowl, I am going to add some sour cream, and then I'm also going to add a few tablespoons of cold water. This recipe calls for chopped mint, which I happen to have in the refrigerator, but if you don't have any mint or you find that it's really expensive where you are, because I know fresh herbs can be really expensive, you can totally substitute parsley, or I think cilantro would even be better in this. I know that cilantro is more widely accessible and it's often cheaper than other herbs. I also added some salt and pepper and some cumin to this and gave it a good whisk. I'm also going to squeeze the juice of half a lime in here. I can't remember if the recipe called for that, but I felt like it needed maybe a little bit more flavor, so I went ahead and added that. You'll also need some chopped mango for this dish, so I'm just peeling this mango and I'm just going to dice it into really small pieces. You want the pieces kind of small because you're going to kind of eat these like tacos, and so that way you kind of get a little bit of mango in every bite. And looking at this recipe, I forgot to add the avocado to these. They call for adding avocado to the top, and I totally forgot that. So next time I make them, I will definitely do that. But this is a recipe that would really meal prep really well too. So you could make like the meat mixture and the chopped mango separate, and then all you would have to do when you want to eat it is just heat up the meat and fill your butter lettuce leaves with it and top it with the mango and the sauce, and you're good to go. Okay, so here are what these lettuce wraps look like. I have butter leaf lettuce. I just got that at Walmart. I put the pork in each one and drizzled it with some of that sour cream mint sauce and topped it with some mango. These are so good. I could not believe how good they were. The combination of flavors was just awesome. I would totally recommend making these. All right, last but not least, we are going to make some good old spaghetti with meat sauce. I haven't made this in a while, and I had some brown rice pasta that I wanted to try out, so here we go. I have a skillet with some ground beef, and I just seasoned that, sauteed it up and drained it, put it back into the skillet with a jar of marinara sauce, and I just like to let this simmer until all of the flavors are kind of melded and the ground beef gets a little bit more tender. So here is the pasta that I'm using. I'm trying to gradually sort of nudge out like white pasta from our diet, although we still do eat some, and I obviously have a lot in my pantry that I'm trying to go through as well. So I'm going to boil that up, and then my other sort of ulterior motive for making this for dinner was to make a Olive Garden side salad, which is one of my favorites, and my kids really like it too. So for this, I'm just using a bag of Dole garden salad, and I'm going to pour that into a bowl, and this will just basically serve up family style. So usually when I make this salad, I just toss everything together in a big bowl rather than making salads in individual bowls. So to the salad, I'm going to add some Parmesan cheese. I had this container of shaved Parmesan, but you could use any type of Parmesan that you have on hand. Black olives are optional, but highly encouraged. I love black olives. You can see Connor's hand there reaching for some. He loves them too. So I put some of those on, and then I just put a little bit of red onion. I didn't want too much, so I basically just took some and sliced it as thin as I could and put it into the bowl. I did that a little bit messily, but that's fine. And then I'm also going to cut up some tomatoes and get those into the salad as well. If you wanted this to be super authentic, you could put pepperoncini in it. I don't think my kids would appreciate those. Actually, Connor would probably eat them. Kira probably wouldn't, but you could put those into the salad as well. So after you get everything assembled, you can just toss some croutons on the top. Here is my spaghetti. I'm going to go ahead and toss the cooked spaghetti in with the marinara sauce and the meat and give that a good stir. freezer. I like to do this because that way everything is already mixed. We don't have to deal with, you know, adding pasta and sauce to the plate separately. And then I poured my Olive Garden dressing over my salad, and I'm just going to give that a good mix so everything is well incorporated. Okay, so here is our dinner for this night. We had the side salad along with the spaghetti and marinara sauce. I also had some Rhodes dinner rolls in the freezer. I told you guys we're trying to kind of cut out white bread and pasta and flour and all of that stuff, but I still have so much in the freezer that I need to go through, so I'll be doing that for a little while. So I baked off the rest of the package of those, and they made a perfect side for our dinner. All right, so that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Green Chef. I'll have a link in the description box below. You can go to that link and use code 90JenChapin for $90 off across your first 4 boxes. They are truly one of my favorite meal kits, and I love having their food on hand when I have busy nights and I just can't get the motivation to figure out what to make, and I don't have to go to the grocery store, so that's great too. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.